welcome to another episode of the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. I'm your host, Noah Love, and today we are going to be talking about and previewing the two game sixes tonight. The Cavs up 3-2 over Detroit. We'll talk about that, preview that, and what Detroit can do to force a game seven and how the Cavs can go to their first East Finals since 2018. We will also talk about Wolves and Spurs. Spurs being up 3-2, how the Spurs can close it out and how the Wolves can force a game seven back in San Antonio tonight on their home floor. We will also be talking about this NFL schedule release because, boy, a lot of these games, I've got some things to say about the NFL schedule release, but all that and more right now on the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. Let's get into it. We'll start with the two game sixes tonight in the association. Pistons Cavs. Boy, that boy. The Cavs took a 3-2 lead in Cleveland against Detroit in Detroit. They took a 3-2 lead. And in that game 5, there was no doubt about it. It was a Pistons disaster. Up 9 with 3 minutes, and the game goes into overtime, and they lose it. And look, to me, the difference in that game was Max Strus. Obviously, he played tremendous. Obviously, Harden, I thought, was really good as well. I think Cleveland, this is a prime spot. This is a prime spot. You want to go on and you want to get to the East Finals. This is the game to win. And this is where you change the narrative, or this is a chance to help take a step in that favor and change the narrative. Especially if you're James Harden, you need a good closeout performance. A great closeout performance. Mitchell needs to step up as well. Look, Mobley played great in game 5. So did Jared Allen. It's not about them. It's about Harden and Mitchell. Detroit's mentally tough, right? They're not gonna. I know the game 6 in Orlando, people are gonna be like, well, that was just Orlando choke jobbing it. Like, that was a big choke job. And while you may be correct in that aspect, Detroit still had to score points to win the game, and their defense was still very good in that game. Detroit knows they can beat this team. And I think here, Cleveland, again, it's going to be about Harden and Mitchell. Obviously, the role players have to play well, but it's going to be about those two. Do those two have the killer instinct to close it out? And especially with Harden, they've been here before. Game 6, the multiple game 6s. Again, the game 6 against San Antonio in 17, that's the most infamous one. Yes, they were down 3-2, but no Kawhi, no LaMarcus Aldridge, and you get the doors blown off you in the second round. Now, if you force it to a game 7 and you lose because those guys are back, okay, I get it. But that one, you get the game 6 with Philly where they're actually in this pretty much exact same position. They have won game 5 by 20 points in Boston, and they go to game 6. And even though I don't blame Harden completely for that series, because if you look at a couple of his performances, the reason they were up 3-2 was because he played great. The MVP that season did not give the performance that he would have been accustomed to giving, and he was supposed to be given in that series in particular. But I'm just saying he didn't play well in that game 6. Tonight, I'm gonna be honest, all the pressure's on Cleveland because you're at home. You gotta close it out. You don't want to go back to Detroit for game 7. You don't. You really don't want to go back. I will say this about Detroit in this game tonight. You gotta find now. I know there was no Duncan Robinson, and you had to start somebody. You hope he's back, brother. You you have to get better for Tobias Harris because I Jalen Duran. I'm out. So you're gonna have to get better from him. Like 13.6 and 19, that can't happen. You're gonna have to get better from him. Cade's gonna have to be special. It's just straight up. He's going to have to be a special player. He's going to have to be special. And if he's not special, Detroit is obviously going home. They're so Cade dependent. And I think whenever that off season starts, whether it's tonight or maybe they force a game 7 lose or maybe they overcome this, whenever the off season starts, they have to find that second scorer. They cannot because Tobias, as much as I like him, he can't be at 33, 34 years old, can't be your second primary scorer. I mean, Duran's really been struggling. The moment just seems a bit too big for him at times. So you're gonna have to prioritize that in the offseason, see what you can pull off. But yeah, but the offseason ain't here yet. I think what Detroit has to do, they have to be very good defensively. And also a thing, they have to force turnovers and get out and run. I think that's the biggest things. They have to force turnovers, get out, run, and they have to be very physical in this basketball game if they want to win. It's going to be tough all the road. I think I told you that somebody's going to have to step up outside of Cade and have a big game. You know Jenkins is going to get you double figure scoring. You know that, but somebody like I don't know if Duncan's back tonight, but if he's back, you're gonna need one in from Tobias Harris. You're gonna need one. But for Cleveland, to me, it's simple. It's all about the stars. In a closeout game, it's about the killer instinct. You're gonna have to you are going to have to really put Detroit away because I don't believe they're gonna go away. I believe this is gonna be a close game. They're not gonna go away. Against like I say the last series, Orlando didn't have the killer instinct. Well, they were up 24. Okay, cool. You missed 24 or 25 shots or 24 straight shots or wherever it is. Like that's just not that's just not. I don't believe Detroit gets down 24 in this game because I'm gonna be real. If they get down 24 in this game, they ain't coming back. I don't care. I don't care how they ain't coming back. Mitchell and Harden and somebody on that team will get a bucket. They missed 24 straight shots, so that's not happening tonight. The I'm gonna roll with Detroit. I said this be a long series. I said 6 or 7 games. I'm going to roll with Detroit. I think they're going to upset Cleveland tonight, and I think they will force a game 7 back at their place. It's just I've said about Cleveland. You got to show me, and I don't trust them enough yet. I don't trust them enough yet. That I'm just I gotta see it. And if they close and look, if they close them out tonight, I'll come on here and give them the props. I have to see it with Cleveland. I have to see that killer instinct. Do they have it? And if they do, then that to me is a missing piece for them. And look, Cavs Knicks will be a heck of a series. I think. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think that's gonna be the key. Uh there in terms of Pistons Cavs. I'm gonna go Pistons to upset. Wolves and Spurs tonight. Game 6. Wimby took over in game 5 and everything. Honestly, this one's harder. This one Man, San Antonio, they're just really good here. The 6 game series. Can the Wolves tonight force a game seven? I don't know. I'm just gonna be real. I don't know. This game is going to be very intriguing because to me, I think because to me, all the pressure's on Minnesota because San Antonio's not at home. They're a young team, and it's really a toss up game. Look, Minnesota, it's protect your home court. Target Center, you've lost what? One game at home this entire playoffs. That was game three. They're great in Target Center. The Wolves are. The I think here the Spurs. I think the Spurs close it. I think even though they're a young team, they are a very mature team. If that makes if that makes sense, I think even though they're young, they're mature. I've seen them through in adversity in this postseason, in this series, in this regular season. I just think the Spurs are going to go on the road and they are going to find in a nail biter. I think they're going to find a way to close out Anthony Edwards and the Wolves. Look, this series, I you never want to doubt Anthony Edwards in a closeout game. To me, if they're going to win, he can't it can't just be well. I give you 25 and nah. I think it's gonna have to be a similar late game. Fourth quarter. I think he's going to have to take it over. I think he's going to have to take it over. And if he takes this game over late, I believe it may be enough. Target Center is going to try to will him, and I believe it'll be enough to get them to a game seven. But I will say this: if there is a game seven in this series, all of the pressure is going to be on the young Spurs. Now, granted, it'll be at home, and you never know how they react. Now, the conference finals obviously is going to start next week, and you and look was OKC. I don't know. They're resting right now. They're loving that this series is going long. I don't know in terms of J Dub. I don't know what it's looking like on that front in terms of his recovery, but like there will it if the Spurs win tonight, I think the conference finals which I don't know when that will start, maybe Monday. I know if the Wolves and Pistons win, there will be two game sevens. And they will both be on Sunday. If one of those teams wins, there will be a standalone game seven, and it will be on Sunday. And so, yeah, I think there will be one game seven. I think it will be the Cavs and Pistons, and I think the Wool season will end tonight. And you gotta, I just the Wolves against the Spurs. I mean, really good. But also, if the Wolves are gonna win tonight, I gotta say this: Julius Randle, bro, you wake up. I don't know what your problem is. Last year you were great for the most part. I thought in the playoffs you saw OKC, I thought you were great for the most part, bro. And you gotta wake up because I I don't know what's been going on with you this playoffs and especially in this series, but if they are going to win tonight, you have to play well, just well. You don't have to play great because if Ant plays great and you play well, there's a good chance. I mean, you can win the series. Obviously for the Spurs, I always think Fox is the key because because Wemby, I feel like he's always going to have an impact on the game, and I can trust him more than not to play great. But Fox, he's the key. If he plays well, the Spurs are going to win. But if he's okay or bad, it becomes tricky. So yeah, I do think the Spurs are going to close it out and go to the West Finals for the first time since I believe it was 17. And I do think we'll get a Thunder Spurs series. And boy, oh boy, I that would be one of those where you're seated no matter what. Now let's go to this NFL schedule release. NFL schedule release here. I've got I just got some. Let's just go to the week one schedule to start. On week one, we're kicking it off on a Wednesday. By the way, so almost call him Silver Goodell. We're kicking it off on a Wednesday with Patriots Seahawks on NBC. Tarico and Collinsworth. And then on Thursday night, we go to Melbourne at 8:30, where we've got Niners and Rams NFC West to kick it off. Then you have the Sunday slate. So you've got the anticipation. Uh the Sunday slate, the games that intrigue me the most, Bears Panthers, both division winners from a year ago. I think the Panthers got better, very much better in the offseason with their additions, their offseason, their draft. I think that's an very intriguing game in the 1 o'clock window. Uh my Colts have the Ravens. Poof, poof. Okay, bro, let's just move on because I'm not that. Let's just move on. Uh, the first 2 weeks, I for my Colts, I. Then we've got in terms of we won Bills Texans. This is a rough one because for Buffalo, and I'm very intrigued by this game just because the the Bills and Texans, the the Bills. I can't tell you the last time they beat Houston with this current core. I can't tell you, but the Texans, that front seven, they always give Josh problems. Tell Josh to ice up, bro, because man, oh man, oh man. That'll probably be an Iron Eagle game that he gets on CBS. Another obviously both playoff teams from a year ago as well, divisional round teams. Both probably should have won the divisional round games if we're being honest. Another game and then I go to the 4 o'clock window and some games that interest me. Also 1 o'clock window. I think I get a shootout in Baker and Burrow. That would be very intriguing. But I go to the 4 o'clock window. The Commanders and Eagles, Jaden Daniels will be healthy. I think the Commanders got better in the offseason. I do, but to me, there's still a lot of holes. And obviously, Philly will see new offensive coordinator, no AJ Brown, debut of Makai Lemon, Devontae Smith will be the number one guy. Uh, Obviously, on defense, they lost Jalen Phillips. He's in Carolina. It'll be intriguing. Also, the other game in that 4 o'clock spot, the Packers visiting the Vikings. Bro, that they cook the NFL cook with this. I mean, even Jets Titans to me is intriguing because that's two. Well, they're both going to be bad this year. Number one, somebody's starting out no 1-0. Number two, year two Cam Ward, you didn't just like last year. I thought for year one they did Cam Ward dirty, giving him the Broncos in week one in a rookie start like that. Yeah, that's great. But obviously, Salah against his former franchise, and yeah, and I think year two of Cam Ward, Titans young squad may be an exciting squad this year as well. But going back to Packers and Vikings, Micah. I don't know if Micah will be back, but the Packers. I mean, I think they got a very favorable schedule. The debut of Kyler Murray, a division rivalry. The NFC North to me is still the most intriguing division because that's the division to me that's got uncertainty. Detroit, they play a tough schedule. It's not brutal, but it is tough. You don't know in terms of the age and older. Even though they still got talent, no Montgomery. Uh, it's just going to be Gibbs there. Detroit, they have a lot of questions in the trenches. Goff obviously getting older. You look at Minnesota, you still have a lot of your pieces in the building from last year, but the question is, how does Kyler look in that system? That's their big question. The Bears, are they going to be as good as that roster? Even going, I mean, last year they won a lot of tight games. A lot of tight games. Do they take the next step to be that contender? I don't know because that roster, but yeah, I mean, look, we'll see. We'll see in the NFC North. Also, the Packers. You have the question of Micah Parsons. You don't know if he's gonna be. You don't know when he's gonna be back. You have the question about Jordan Love and the Packers. Look, losing all those games late in the season last year. You don't feel in the way you lost them and blowing games. You don't feel great about that. And then we go here to we've got Cowboys and Giants on Sunday night, which that's a great way to that's a great home opener. And that's gonna be a great Sunday night game. The Cowboys looking to go in there and shut up the Giants on Sunday night football. And then you've got the Broncos and Chiefs on Monday night. Mahomes the league's betting on Mahomes being back. So that'll be Monday night against the division rival. I don't they haven't said if it's home or away. I would imagine it would be at home cuz in Arrowhead that would be a great first game. They're not doing the two Monday night games this year. To open the week. Thank Zeus. No, well, there's one at 7 and there's one at 10. No, 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 no. We just need an 8 o'clock standalone to end the week off right. Thank you. Okay. There, there's that. Like, in terms of the prime time games this season, I, I want to see how many in terms of overall teams because there are teams like the Giants. I think they got four. Okay, so there are five NFL teams that got no primetime games: Jets, Titans, Raiders, Cardinals, and Dolphins. It's kind of what you expect. I'm gonna be real. With the Dolphins, they'll probably be a bad team. They be exciting. I mean, Cam Ward, you maybe could have put them on for one primetime game. I thought you could have because I do think Cam Ward is exciting to watch. So you could, but Raiders, Cardinals, and Jets obviously. And look, things can change. Like you never know, things can change, but I just think it's very interesting. But amount of primetime games by teams. 7 for the Rams. Obviously, the Rams made the NFC Championship game last year. They're a possession away from probably from the Super Bowl. They're a possession away from the Super Bowl. There, so yeah, you understand why they get 7 primetime games. Also, LA. Also, the Super Bowl's in LA. The Packers Chiefs Bills and Seahawks have 6. Bills, Josh Allen, they'll be in the mix. Seattle just won the Super Bowl. Kansas City, if Mahomes is back, they've kind of retooled the roster. The NFL's probably thinking they won't be as bad as last year. So they're going to give them 6. And then Green Bay, because it's the Packers, they'll also be pretty good to decent to good. And so also their historic franchise. Dallas got 5, no shocker there. Philly got 5, Chicago got 5, New England, San Fran got 5. Minnesota got 4, the Giants got 4. Again, the Giants, I am one of the people anticipating they'll take a jump, even though that schedule is brutal. But I think from a talent perspective, for them, it's just going to be about them closing out close games. They can do I think they can do the Bears jump where you win 4 or 5 games a year before and then you jump into double digits, because there's not that much difference in the talent between those two teams. But the difference is the Bears learned how to close out games last year and they won a lot of them. If the Giants can close out games, I mean, they were up in a lot of games last year. If the Giants can close out games, they'll be good. Obviously, there's the Steelers 4. I guess Rodgers is back. Almost, there are a couple changes, but almost the same team from a year ago. They're they're not gonna. Yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh will be. They're not a Super Bowl team. I just say that, not a Super Bowl team in my opinion. Uh, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, and you expect them to be a contending for a Super Bowl. Detroit, Houston, Washington. You hope Jaden Daniels is healthy for Washington. 3, Jags, Broncos, Bengals, Falcons, Carolina, Chargers, and Bucks. Bucks, obviously, Chargers. Good for Carolina. Again, Carolina week 4 gets the Lions, which is like their first Sunday night game, I believe, in like 10 years. And it's at home, so good for them. Jacksonville getting some primetime games. Obviously, Indy's got 2. My Colts got 2. Both of them on the road. Just couldn't even throw us a bone, Silver. Couldn't even give us one of these at home. If you couldn't give us one of these at home, like, come on. We play Houston in, I think, week 11 on Thursday Night Football. AFC South on Thursday Night Football. Go figure. And then obviously week 2 we get Chiefs. Well, then number 1 is, and then for 1, New Orleans and Cleveland. New Orleans gets one primetime game because it'll be, I guess, Atlanta, because it'll be 20 years to the day from the dome coming. If you don't know, that's the game after Hurricane Katrina, where the Saints, obviously, you had the block punt and everything, and I believe the Saints won that game against the Falcons, NFC South, and Cleveland has one. Don't really know how they got one as well. How they got one, I guess. Look, good young talent, not really complaining. The Sunday night schedule was released. The Monday night schedule was released. The Thursday night schedule was released. I thought, I mean, in terms of like the best, in terms of games that you get, I think Sunday night they've got. I thought Thursday night was kind of the Actually, I take that back. I think Sunday night football was the best last year, but Thursday night football was really good. I thought Monday night didn't have. Sunday night's got a lot of bangers. Like they've got a Thanksgiving night game between Chiefs Bills, but I've just looked at the schedule. Like they've got a lot of them. Especially I know early it's it's good, but in the middle to late they've got a lot of great ones. And then obviously you don't know, with week 17 they get Eagles Niners. I believe both teams will be in the mix. In week 18 you obviously don't know, but Yeah, but I think in terms of the schedule, I think the Packers are a team that really benefited. I thought they got a favorable schedule. In my opinion, the Broncos got a brutal schedule. I mean, they just got brutal schedule as well. They're a team that I just thought got a brutal schedule. My Colts, I thought the first 5 weeks, it's come on, man. In terms of just like, bro, Ravens, Chiefs, and Texans in the first 3 weeks, and then okay, we have to go to London to play the Commanders, and then when we come back, we don't even get a bye. We get the Steelers. Bye doesn't come to week 13. It's like, come on, man. But you know, we'll see. You want to have hope, but I do also. I didn't go through. I didn't go through the Thanksgiving schedule. I'll do that real quick. Bangers, or the Thanksgiving and Christmas schedule. On Thanksgiving Day, it's gonna be Bears, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, and Chiefs, Bills. And then on Thanksgiving Eve, you got a game Packers and Rams, and that game be on Netflix. I think that's going to be wow. Those games there all you can really say is wow, Goodell. Like that's all you can really say in terms of that because now the Sunday afternoon slate, it's going to be absolutely cooked beyond belief. Like it's going to be cooked beyond belief. But I mean, you just talk about big boy matchups on things Thanksgiving Eve and then on Thanksgiving Day. Three rivalries, two division rivalries, and obviously the Chiefs Bills on NBC. Collinsworth and Tarico may want to do that one. They might want to work double duty if you get what I'm saying for that one. I know I know Romo said it was kind of felt like a kick in the gut just because those games are always great and they've always had CBS have always had Chiefs Bills for the most part of these past 5 years. So yeah, on Christmas though, great schedule on Christmas. Packers Bears, Bills Broncos rematch of the AFC divisional, and then Rams Seahawks. You would hope that because last year the Christmas Day schedule was kind of rough. I mean, it wasn't like the games weren't bad, but it was just the games weren't bad, but a lot of the teams weren't in playoff contention. The only one that was in playoff contention, or the only two, was the Broncos and the Lions. The Lions got eliminated by the Vikings, and look, the Broncos things on Christmas night. I mean, they just barely escaped that Chiefs team. But yeah, you get Packers and Bears. That should be good. Bills Broncos, that should be good. And Rams Seahawks 8:50 on Christmas night. That's going to be absolutely unbelievable. That will be a treat. But yeah, the NFL schedule is here. As I will be making my predictions at some point in June. I really want to wait till the NBA playoffs is over before I can really deep dive into this NFL previewing for the season, some questions. I also want to dive in. I also am going to dive into some college football because in college football, outside of the portal acquisitions and all that, the all season's kind of dull, except unless you're in the SEC, Lane Kiffin. Like we'll get into that. Uh, we'll get into that on another day. But yeah, this has been an episode of the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, I will see you.